All right, let's do this. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
I'm Dean.
As you can see, we have an old friend on the pod today. A former member of BallGame, forever a member of BallGame, all decked out in his Jets gear over there.
Very happy to be back.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you, Dean. Thank you for filling in.
Here
As
to
you can see, Tom's not.
We needed this
yeah.
before the season started to get your opinions out there to the world so they could hear what you have to say.
I'm clearly here to provide my unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
On
No, the world needed to hear.
specifically the AFC East.
We have so much
Yeah,
Jets shit
excited.
here right now. We have you all decked out. Aaron Rodgers is hanging up. I don't like it. I don't like it, honestly.
They're gonna take week one.
I mean, potentially. We'll see.
We'll talk about it, but after what happened this morning, I don't think we're gonna take week one anymore.
Trent's back.
Trent's back.
Trent's back.
He's officially back.
He's big
officially
back.
back. Yeah.
So we could talk about that, I guess, before we go into what we're gonna do today.
Yeah.
Because they got both their guys back. I
Yeah,
don't think
both
we
their guys
talked
back.
about Ayuk yet. So
Did not.
And
Did not.
CMC's back at practice, so they're probably gonna go into week one full strength.
Yep.
Which is
everything's
not-
trending up for them, which is good to see for them.
Literally, according to whatever plan they had, it's all coming to fruition.
It's
right now.
just wild because, like, the whole Ayuk situation, how he basically held out to get more money, and apparently this deal was on the table for a few weeks now, which, like, I mean, I guess I understand it. He was trying to play hardball, see what happened, but, I mean, this is what I felt like was going to happen all along at a certain point, because it's like $30 million a year seems about right. And then was it ever anyone but the Niners? Like, he was always saying no to other trades. Like, he wanted to be with San Fran. I think that was pretty obvious. So that's all figured out. I think the biggest concern was the Trent Williams situation. But now that that's figured out,
It was all pretty murky.
But you
Like,
knew-
just the combination of everything was pretty murky. It was just a lot going on
yep.
at one time right before the season.
Right. And they just have so much talent, and they all need to get paid or have gotten paid, that the Niners just always have a lot going on because they have so many guys that, are deserving of getting paid. But Trent was always gonna play. He was always gonna be a Niner. He wasn't gonna hold out all season. It was just a matter of time who was gonna cave first. So
Yeah, it felt like we were destined for the holdout versus holdout for the Niners versus the Jets. It was going to be Trent versus Hassan Reddick on the side of the field getting contract negotiations.
So we've only talked about this through obviously our group chat. I haven't been here for it. I don't know if you guys want to keep talking about it, but the Hassan Reddick
What is happening
contract situation.
It's
as a Jet fan?
ugly.
So he's been fined close to $4 million or over $4 million at this point, and he's going to start missing out on $800K a week
Game checks, yeah.
on game checks. And if he doesn't play this season, the Jets, under whatever CBA they signed last agreement, still retain his rights next season if he doesn't play.
Yes.
If he doesn't play by week 10, that's it. The Jets retain him for next season. So I don't understand where this leverage that he thinks he has is coming from, because at this point, no one's trading for him. No one's also going to pay him. At this point, he's 30 years old. He's not getting the bag that he thinks he's going to get. So at this point, he's only tanking his value, losing time on whatever clock he's got left. So there's really not much leverage left, and I think the Jets are more than comfortable running with the D-line that they have right now.
It's still really good. It's still really good.
Would Hassan Reddick
makes it a difference maker.
Makes it elite? Yes, makes it very, very elite. He's the guy. But also, I think the Jets, it's not gonna lose them any games not having Reddick out there.
I mean, you would hope not. I think this is one of those games where it's, if you have Hassan Reddick, it makes a massive difference. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I personally don't even know who's going to win this week one game. But the Niners still have problems. I mean, the back end, they still have two guys injured on that defensive side of the ball. I mean, Hufanga, I don't know if he's set to come back for week one. Last I checked, he wasn't. Dre Greenlaw, we know he tore his Achilles in the Super Bowl. I expect him to not be back week one. So yeah, man, it's tough. The Niners are dealing with some injuries. McCaff is finally back, but you're concerned about that. Anytime a guy gets injured in training camp, right before the season, you never feel good about it. But I'm sure he's fine. He's Wolverine. So
They also have a million options on offense.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
Ricky Pearsall got shot.
Jesus Christ.
Back to the Hassan Reddick thing. I just think it's
Thank God bless he's okay.
yeah,
Thank God.
for real. The Hassan Reddick thing, just think it's crazy that most of the, like, no, not most of them, all of these guys in the NFL are represented by someone. Like, they have agents, they have people in their ear telling them what the next steps of their career are along the way. And Hassan Reddick has a team in his ear telling him this is the way. And it's just not the way.
Yeah.
And, like, not only is he getting fined, like, yes, he's getting fined millions and millions of dollars, but then you really think about it, he's paying a team to tell him to do this.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Losing a lot of money right
realistically,
now.
like, he's paying guys to tell him to lose money.
Right. And even at this point, if he gets more money for this season, he still has to pay the fines. So he already lost $4 million.
$4 million out, yep.
So even if you give him $4 million more than what he would have gotten this season, he already loses it off rip.
So I was about to say, I think there would be like, I don't know if it's possible, but maybe there's a way in the CBA or something that, like, if
They
you
waive
do
it?
sign a guy, that they just waive the fine.
I don't think they do, but teams, I think most of the time, just
Take care of
give
it?
you the money
to
for the
then pay
fine.
the fines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that
in
would
signing
make
bonus or
sense.
whatever
Yeah.
it is, they give you whatever it is. But I just think it's silly because I think from what we've heard,
Such
we're not, insiders in the NFL world, but we've heard that all the Jets want him to do is walk in the building, meet his
Yeah.
teammates, be around the facility, and they'll talk negotiations. That man isn't even willing to walk
hasn't
into
showed
the
up at all?
building. No. He came for that one press
No chemistry with his team.
he came for that one press conference in April and hasn't shown up since. So from the Jets standpoint, why would we pay
They've
a
no
guy a
loyalty to
multi-year
him.
contract? We don't know who you are.
Yep.
You're a random dude. Yes, you have plenty of football history to go off of, plenty of tape to watch, but we don't know who you are as a person. And I think the way the Jets are building their culture now, they need to know who you are as a person before handing out long-term contracts, which I think is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for the rest of the people in the building. Is it good for, the Jets right now, week 1 against the 49ers? No, we'd rather have Hassan Reddick. But I think when you're building a culture, I think having guys that are bought in and having guys that want to be here is very, very important.
Yeah, you gotta care. You gotta care at least a little bit. I mean, I haven't heard that the vibes in New York in general have been super immaculate with the Jets, but
I think that Aaron Rodgers piece was stupid. I think that was not.
false reporting
That was the only report that came out all offseason.
all season about
It was
yeah.
very weird. A random agent came out or GM came out and said that, Aaron Rodgers isn't a team player. What other player has said that?
Could just be blowing smoke.
Yeah, all of the players have said it. They've had a great whatever. It doesn't matter. Love the Jets. Everybody else sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it all works out for you this year, buddy. I really do. All right, so on this episode, we are going to be giving our hot takes for the NFL season, either 3 to 5, whatever we so choose in the moment, and our full playoff predictions. Not the full breakdown of every round by round, but our conference playoffs and our Super Bowl and the full 17 bracket that we plan on having that we think is going to happen. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'm excited to get into this. So why not jump straight into our first hot take? And either one of you wanna get us off? Actually, let our guest go first. Go for it, Dean.
So the first thing that I have on my hot takes, I'm gonna go with least spicy to the spiciest. This is like the mild kind of hot sauce that I got going on right now.
It's like
So I
hot ones.
I have Kyler Murray finishes top 5 in MVP. I think Kyler Murray comes back from his injuries, and I think he was playing at an MVP level at some point in his career before he got hurt and before the Cardinals became bad. I think now that they have his solidified wide receiver 1, they went out of their way and invested draft capital in a guy for him to trust week in, week out. That's his guy, Marvin Harrison. He has Trey McBride. They have a solid run game. I think they're really trying to build that offense around Kyler Murray. I think he's set up for success this year.
I ask you one question. You know that MVP voting also must come with playoff success, correct? Or like making the playoffs, I should say. That's the problem.
I didn't know that playoffs were
You have the
involved.
Cardinals as a playoff team.
I don't have them as a playoff team. I do have them going 9-8 though, just missing.
Okay. All right.
Just
Above
missing.
500.
They're the 9 seed,
Okay. All right. I can understand.
so
that
I see
then.
them
'Cause
being
that defense sucks.
okay.
So okay. If the offense is like top 5.
New coach. I
category,
think I think things are changing.
I like Gannon.
Yeah, I like Gannon.
Gannon a lot.
Yeah, it's really just about like Matt said, it's about the wins with Kyler. I agree with you in terms of he could put up the stats. I mean,
I agree.
this is probably the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. I think most people do know how good he is, but when I see rankings and stuff like that, a lot of people forget about him in that top 10 conversation when I think he's a lock in that conversation when he's on the field. You mentioned it, he gets a new toy. He gets a new car, some would say. A Maserati.
A fast car.
A Maserati Marv. I'm in a fast car. Yeah, no, I mean, I think Kyler's going to put up great stats. We've talked about it all summer because we're also very high on him in fantasy. Right. He's a guy who was great last year when he came back from injury, and he has seasons of greatness. Not greatness, but being really damn good in his past. So he's a guy with rushing upside too, which is always fun and gets people excited for the MVP vote. So yeah, I could see him getting into that top 5. Definitely, I think top 10's like.
Yes.
This is a hot take episode, so be spicy. But like, I'd predict him to be in the top 10. I think that's a really good.
Well, yeah, I think he could perform like a top 5, top 10
Easily.
quarterback this season. And I think that there is so much talent out there at the quarterback position right now. I just think that people have overlooked him for the past couple of years because he's been hurt. There's no, it makes sense. He hasn't played, so obviously he's not in your face. You're not going to think about Kyler Murray.
Yeah, to give you an idea, you were saying the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. I read The Athletic almost on a daily basis, and they do their QB tiers every year. And I'm pretty sure they slotted Kyler as like the 15th best quarterback in the NFL in tier 3. And I was like, I feel like this is a little low for Kyler Murray when we have, like, no disrespect to Jared Goff. He was amazing last year, but like a Jared Goff in tier 2 and stuff, like, I think Kyler is just as much of a game changer if given the opportunity as, say, a Jared Goff. So I personally think a tier 2 would make a lot of sense.
I think that comes down to like a swap their situations, and Kyler Murray obviously balls out on the line.
Yes, and I think Goff would kind of suck in Arizona. Like, not necessarily suck, but like he wouldn't be.
He wouldn't have been able to reach what Kyler did.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It's hypothetical, so there's no way to prove that, but I think Kyler has way more talent than Jared Goff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would agree. All right. But I am going to jump off of that point. I'm not going to go with the Cardinals, but I am going to go with a guy that you were just talking about before, Maserati Marv. The other rookie in this class, the other generational rookie in this class, Malik Neighbors, leads all rookies in receptions and receiving yards this season. My boy, my New York Giant, let's go. That's my mild take.
And who's throwing that man the football?
Danny.
Danny?
Bro, he's going to have like a 30+% target share probably. He'll have some ridiculous amount of targets this year. Will they all be catchable? No.
I was going to say.
But he's going to turn a lot of those slants into fucking hit your head on the goalpost touchdown.
It's going to have to be slants because that man Danny cannot throw the ball over a defense, dog.
He can. He can.
He has.
He can.
He hasn't.
He can.
That man threw triple the amount of picks as he did touchdowns last year.
Well,
triple.
He got fucking murked behind one of the worst offensive lines in NFL history. So,
and it didn't get a ton better.
No, it did. It did. It got significantly better.
Significant's not the word.
Significantly, but it is because we went from the worst offensive line of all time to like probably the 20th or 19th best offensive line in the NFL, which is significant. That is significant. So
we'll see.
Andrew Thomas was out all of last year. That's the best left tackle in the NFL. So, but yeah, Malik Neighbors leads all rookies in receptions.
The best left tackle in the NFL?
It's top 3.
All right.
Tyronn Smith.
No. Malik Neighbors won't do that.
Because Marv is going to break all records.
It's just, like, it's not even about Mr. Maserati right now. It's about Malik and his awful, god-awful situation. I don't care that their offensive line got a little better. I've been saying it all summer. I look at rookie Garrett Wilson, and that's kind of about the ceiling on Malik Neighbors to me. I just don't.
I mean, that's a 1,000-yard receiver. It's not.
Yeah, I don't.
That's not his ceiling.
I just
on a rookie, Malik Neighbors.
I think with this situation with Dan, I just can't see Daniel Jones. And like now, I'll make it about Maserati Marv. I've said it all summer. Like I realistically see 1,300, 1,400, maybe even 1,500 in the cards for Maserati, but I'd probably lean like 1462. 1462. And I just don't see Malik
That's a
Neighbors.
hot take.
That's
That's a
1462.
fucking hot take.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking 1438.
I don't know. I just think he's a guy who he's
1450.
like Marv's gonna get all the same volume that Malik Neighbors is gonna get. Can we agree with? Well, you don't agree with that actually.
I think that
He thinks Trey McBride's gonna lead the
I
Cardinals in
think Trey
targets.
McBride leads the Cardinals in targets. Yes.
I
He's
don't think
bugging out, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think for a tight end to lead a team in, I mean, especially
That's also a hot take.
you just took Marvin 4?
Yeah,
You just took Marvin number. You're gonna throw him the ball.
everything that was the offense, like last year, John Gannon's first year, Kyler first came back for 8 games, Trey McBride
gotta
was
throw
so
it
good.
out.
It's out the window. The offense is going to be the same way for the Giants. The offense is going to be crafted around Malik Neighbors,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But the offense is going to be crafted around Marvin Harrison. That's why I just think realistically, like volume-wise, what they're going to get, I think it'll be around the same. Maybe Malik has a little bit of a higher target share just because there's less guys there,
Yeah,
but
that's my.
but I don't think it'll be significant enough, and I think the more significant difference will be the quality of these targets and the quality of the volume. And I think Marvin's. I mean, I know you're talking about just yards and receptions, but like overall, Marvin's upside is much higher. But that's a different conversation.
Right.
But in terms of just the receptions and I think Marv is just gonna, I don't know how to even describe it, bro. He's just so fucking good. Like, there's no way.
He is the Cardinals' identity at this point. I think the Cardinals last season, they don't have a real offensive identity. They don't really know who they are.
It was run the ball and throw it to Trey McBride.
But that's what I'm saying. So now you draft Marv. He is their offensive identity. That's a guy that, you need a game plan for. That's the guy that you're watching all game. That's the guy who's making plays. That's who they are now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, would you rather have, who would you put your money on to have more receptions? The number one on a team with a really bad quarterback and no one else in competition for those targets, or a guy with a really good quarterback, really good weapons around him, but still no one that's going to give him competition for the targets. Like, it's just Trey McBride's going to get his, but it's not going to take away from Marv.
I don't necessarily think Trey leads in targets. I think he leads in receptions because the targets are going to be closer to the line of scrimmage, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, but the thing is, Marvin's always open. Okay. He's never not open.
But they're also I think he's going to step in day one.
I'd rather
and they're going to key in.
I'd rather give Marv a 20-yard chance than Trey McBride a 5-yard chance. That's it's a higher percentage play. Put the ball in the Maserati's hands.
It is.
Quite
Yes,
literally
Put the ball in the Maserati's hands, bro.
Yes, it is.
He doesn't drop anything. He's
What's
always
a higher
open.
percentage play?
And
A 5-yard
even
fucking
if someone
catch for
does,
a tight end or a 20-yard throw for a wide
even if
receiver?
someone does
Obviously, the higher
catch-
catch percentage is the
No.
5-yard catch.
No.
even if someone
You
does
need to
keep
stop.
up with him,
You need
even
to
if
stop.
someone does keep up with him, like, he's still catching that. He doesn't drop. No, he's the GOAT.
He doesn't drop balls. He catches
my
everything.
God.
A 50-50 ball is really like a 95-5 ball.
It's like Colin.
Yeah. Yes.
Colin just goes, no gloves on. Colin just
No gloves is crazy. No gloves in the pouring rain,
and
bro.
he catches it. His hat falls off. He goes, he flips it back on his head. You're like, Colin, how'd you do that?
Wait, Colin's Marvin Harrison.
And then he flips his glasses up. And you're like, what? How is this kid playing flag football right
He
now?
looks so unathletic, and he's
Yeah.
just like arguably the best player on the field every
Yeah.
time. So funny. Oh man, Marvin Harrison and Colin Prestigiacomo is definitely the comparison of
That's the
2024.
comp. That's
Yeah, no.
I just dropped the government. Sorry, Colin.
It's just not happening for Malik Neighbors. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
All right. My first
At
hot
least you're
take.
sorry.
Marvin jersey up.
Which one should I go with?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with this one, I guess.
I like
this
this.
one's super spicy, but I guess all mine are super spicy. I'm gonna go with Isaiah Likely is going to lead the Ravens in receiving touchdowns this year.
Okay.
I just think, listen, I don't want to wish injury on someone, but Mark Andrews is a guy who's been banged up and has missed time as the years have gone on. So I wouldn't be shocked if Mark Andrews misses some time, which also opens the door for Likely. But I think this is a guy who, throughout his career so far, has just shown that he's a super talented player and he deserves to be a part of the offense. And especially last year when Andrews was out, I mean, he really stepped up. And
tight end 3 down the stretch this season.
Yeah, I mean, you felt not that much of a drop-off from Mark Andrews. So this is a guy who I think they're going to make sure he's on the field. They're going to run a lot of 12 personnel. He's going to be out there, especially in the red zone. I mean, this is a guy who he had kind of like Marvin Harrison. He has the hands. His routes aren't terrible, and he has some
physically larger.
Yeah, he's huge, and he's not fast, but like he can move.
He can break away.
He's very athletic.
He could really move. Like this is a really talented player. I think, like I said, I think they're gonna make a conservative effort to make sure he's on the field as much as possible, and they're gonna get him involved. And I mean, we've seen what Lamar could do with the Mark Andrews, so like. He could get tight ends the ball, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Ravens didn't have to change their game plan once Mark Andrews went out, which I think was really. I don't know if that's either a knock on Andrews and do we build him up to be more than he is because he's in a system that allows him to put up the numbers that he does. We know he's really good, but or Likely's also just really good, and he's almost just overshadowed by Andrews being good as well.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's a little bit of both. I think just Lamar's play style to me is kind of conducive to the tight end eating. When he gets out, looking across the field in the middle on like a delay route or whatever the case may be. That's kind of conducive to Lamar's play style. But also, Mark Andrews is just really damn good at, as is Isaiah Likely, in my personal opinion. So
yeah, I mean, I totally agree. If you're not subscribed to the Patreon, go subscribe to the Patreon. Isaiah Likely may or may not have been mentioned.
He was. Right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So, I personally love Isaiah Likely. I've been in on the player for a while now, and I think he was one of those players that I looked at as his second contract when he left the Ravens was going to be where, like, he really breaks out and becomes one of the best tight ends in the NFL. But we're already seeing, like, Andrews is just going to, I hate to say it, continuously get hurt. And even if he's not, they're going to involve Likely this year.
He was so good last year that he has to be involved,
So, yeah.
Especially given how thin they are at receiver, too. Like,
it'll be Bateman and Zay.
Yeah.
And then who else?
Tez Walker.
Yeah. I mean, he's more a project than anything else right now, but yeah,
Tez Walker's not good.
Zay to hit.
You're a UNC guy.
Yeah, I don't like Tez Walker. Like
he's
as an
guy.
He was cool when he came back at UNC. I mean, he had a whole situation that
he did.
They kept him out because of his transfer and shit like that, and it was really unfair what they did to him. He missed like the first 8 games last year. I think in his first game.
Why don't you like him? I'm sorry.
I just don't think he's that good at football. Like on an NFL level,
NFL receiver.
I don't think he has any game breaking.
Steven was just hopping.
I don't think he has any game breaking traits. Like his speed is pretty mid. His routes are okay at best. He's definitely, like you said, he's a project. Like maybe there's a chance he gets better, but
he has physical traits.
Zay's still the guy.
Physical trait. Yeah, Zay is still the guy unless Bateman takes over.
Let's go.
They keep raving about him, bro.
Had time to take over.
Yeah, and he can't stay on the field.
They keep raving about him though every offseason, bro.
Fuck up. I'm sure he's a good NFL receiver.
This offseason,
he can never play.
I mean, all his advanced stats are this guy's one of the best route runners in the league. All
he was
the
hurt again.
Yeah, but whenever you see his advanced stats, that he sticks out. He just can never play. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Isaiah Likely. What do you got, Dean? What's your next hot take?
My next hot take is Dak Prescott finally leads dem boys to the Super Bowl.
Bruh,
wow.
This fucking guy.
The Cowboys, this is the year where Dak Prescott puts it all together in the playoffs, because we know what the Cowboys could do in the regular season. We've all known that they're a good team. We know they're a good team. We just know that they all often crumble in the playoffs, but this is the year they finally put it together. Then they can get through the NFC.
Where's their run game?
Doesn't matter. You have Dak Prescott.
Okay.
You have a 3-headed monster in Rico Dowdle, Dalvin Cook, and Zeke Elliott.
I'm sure this was a great backfield back in 2017. So
It'll be a great backfield right now.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
We'll
they have a good offensive line. No, the run game's definitely I don't know why they didn't get a running back. I don't know why. I thought they should have drafted Braylon Allen in the draft.
I agree with that statement as well.
I don't know why they decided to not take a running back. That was a bit silly. But also, we're not NFL GMs, so maybe they have a plan. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe
they just really trust Rico Dowdle. Maybe they've just really been seeing in year 5 what he could do.
God, bro, I don't know how you haven't worked yourself onto the field at this point, and yet somehow you're going to be the game changer. I don't know. I hope he is, but I don't see it. I have the complete opposite feeling of the Dallas Cowboys, and this is no disrespect to my boy Dakota Rain Prescott. I love Dak, and he'll get paid this offseason, not by the Cowboys. But I say that the Cowboys missed the playoffs, but I do think somehow Mike McCarthy stays throughout the entirety of the season because he only has this year left on his deal. So I think even in a weak NFC East, in a weak NFC in general, I have the Cowboys missing the playoffs, either at 9-8 or 10-7. I don't see it. I think this is a bad, overrated football team, I should say. Their offense is great, but it's very predicated around CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott having a ridiculous connection. And while, yes, CeeDee is one of the best receivers in the NFL, I get all of that. There's no run game. And that matters. And then, of course, last year they got ran on 1,000,000 times. That was their problem. And they really didn't do much to shore it up. So, I don't know. I think they should have got back Stephon Gilmore. You have Deron Bland, who just came off an injury in training camp. Trayvon Diggs coming back from a torn ACL. I don't like it. I don't like the Cowboys this year. I'm out. And that is not just Giants bias, even though my first one was Giants bias. I think the Cowboys missed the playoffs this year. I think it's all crumbling in Dallas.
Wow, Stephen A's top 5 power rankings entering week 1.
Wow. I want to be convinced. I told you guys before the show, I'm kind of indifferent on the Cowboys. I have them making the playoffs, but I don't have them doing much in the playoffs. You guys are on both sides of the fence. So you both said your piece, but you weren't really trying to convince me. Take me one way or the other. Go ahead, Dean. Tell me why, why are the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl, bro?
Well, I think even without Trayvon Diggs,
they kept a lot of their guys from last year, and they were damn good last year.
They were pretty good last year. Their offense was pretty amazing, and I think that there's no reason CeeDee Lamb doesn't get better. There's no reason Dak Prescott doesn't continue to feed him the ball. There's no reason Jake Ferguson shouldn't be as good as he should be this year. I think the run game will figure itself out. Was it great last year? No, but they still won a ton of games. Was their run defense that great last year? No, but they still won a ton of games. Their defense was still a top defense in the league. Their pass defense was really, really good. And I think they get Trayvon Diggs back. They get, their secondary healthy. There's no reason why they shouldn't be, first of all, top in their division. I think they're better than the Eagles right now. And then also march to the Super Bowl.
I just don't agree with the fact they're better than the Eagles, even in the slightest bit. I think the Eagles are the class of the NFC right next to the Lions right now. But for the Cowboys, like I said, I think the book is out.
You think you think the Lions are better than the 49ers?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I have another hot take. I have another hot take.
That is not true.
That is all. We'll talk about that later.
On paper, but like pound for pound, they are not better than the 49ers.
Yes, they are.
Position by position, they are not better than the 49ers. Like, not even close.
We'll get into that in a second. Anyways, Cowboys. Dak to CeeDee, one of the best connections in the NFL, but the book is out, man. Like, who's beating you outside of CeeDee Lamb? I like Jake Ferguson, but he's more of a red zone target. He's not going to beat you downfield. Brandon Cooks was cool in the red zone. Not good overall last season. I like the O-line, but we have to remember that Tyron Smith, one of the best left tackles in the NFL, is now gone. In comes a rookie left tackle, which doesn't always end well.
Yeah, but they pump them out, bro.
I'm not disagreeing with that
they
statement.
Pump them out.
But a rookie left tackle is a rookie left tackle, no matter how you cut it. I don't care if you pump him out. You're going from one of the greatest of all time.
I'll pump him out.
Yeah, but Tyron Smith didn't play full seasons anyway. Like, they didn't get...
You see the jersey you have on right now? You better watch him out.
Yeah, and we drafted a left tackle. Like, it's fine if he doesn't play the whole season. Olu Fashion is going to do just fine.
Another rookie left tackle.
And he'll do just fine.
I don't know if it's always given like that. But, I mean, look, Tyron Smith, when he stepped in, and yes, they pump out elite tackles, all that, I get it. But realistically, the people that they have drafted along their offensive line in the past have mostly been elite prospects too. Tyron Smith was an elite left tackle prospect coming out. Zach Martin was one of the best guards coming out. Well, he was a tackle back in college. So, they're developing elite talents. Tyler Guyton is not one of those guys that came out and it's lauded for one of the best tackles in the entire class. He's good. I like the guy. But I don't necessarily think a rookie left tackle works out immediately. Outside of that, they lost their center in Tyler Biadasz, which I think matters as well. And then you move on to the defensive side of the ball, and like I said, the running game, they can't stop it. They don't have one, and they can't stop it, and that's a recipe for disaster come playoff time, and we've seen that time and time again. That's even if they get there. So outside of that, like I said, I think their DBs are way too injured. You had Deron Bland deal with something. You have Trayvon Diggs coming back from a torn ACL, and if history suggests that first year after a torn ACL is never good. So I don't know. I'm personally out on them. I don't think they have the makeup talent to pick it up when the stars aren't having their games. So
I think something that we didn't touch on is how amazing their cheer team is.
Oh, their cheer team is phenomenal.
You see that documentary?
Nope.
There's a Dallas Cowboys cheer.
Team
My girlfriend made
phenomenal.
me watch the Dallas Cowboys cheer documentary. It's
a
actually
good doc?
bro. It's intense.
Really?
You have to be bro. You have to be about it.
You got to be in ridiculous
bro.
shape.
They
too, I'm assuming.
train like they're on the team.
Wow.
They have facilities it's the actual team. Their cheer team's basically on the same level as the Cowboys. It's pretty insane. They're the best cheer team in the league by far.
Well, yeah, we knew that.
It's
Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are a thing.
Dude, it's all the NFL cheerleaders and all the other teams, they're only there because they didn't make the Dallas Cowboys cheer team.
Wow.
It's pretty insane.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
That is actually nuts. Wow.
Anyway.
Does the cheer team swing you?
No, I'm not swung at all. I think you both make great points, which is why I kind of land in the middle. They have a recipe that, like you said, Dean, can win regular season games. They've shown it for years now. Dak Prescott can win regular season games, but it's about what they do in the playoffs. And what your main point was, this team didn't really do anything to get better. If anything, on paper, they got a little bit worse. So, yeah, I think they could win regular season games, but they didn't do anything of significance to get over that hump. And so you picking them to go to the Super Bowl is pretty much, correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of like a blind faith in just Dak and CeeDee carrying them there.
That's literally what it is. And Micah.
Yeah.
Okay, and you choosing them to miss the playoffs is outlandish.
I don't think it's outlandish, though.
I just think, especially in the playoff game last year, we saw not only did the Cowboys get exposed by the Packers, but
obliterated.
Not even just that, but more specifically, the Dak and CeeDee connection was off. That was my biggest takeaway from the game. They were just not on the same page. And after being on the same page for 10 weeks in a row is the best quarterback receiver duo in the league. The one game where they're not on the same page is obviously the playoff game, but we saw everything imploded.
Lest we forget, CD missed training camp.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about that.
But I'm just saying, after
No,
one
it's
of the worst
definitely
Right where he
performances,
left off.
It matters, but I'm not.
I'm not disagreeing. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
that'll
not
be
too
fine.
concerned about it.
But-
It's definitely a point to make. Yeah,
Means Brandon Cook's got more work.
yeah. I mean, so I'm kind of.
Might be bad for his old ass body, to
Might
be
be
honest.
really bad.
I do think the Cowboys have talented enough dudes that are game wreckers on both sides of the ball that if they do get hot, they can do the thing. I'm not going to predict it, but Micah is that good.
Not the Super Bowl.
Micah
It's
is
just
that
about
good
time.
that
Not
he
the
could
Super
carry
Bowl,
a
brother.
defense on a playoff run. I still think Dak is talented enough that he can do it too.
Oh, I don't disagree with
and
that.
CD is obviously
Bro.
CD's a game wrecker in and of
If
himself
you're
on the
not
other side
gonna
of the
do
ball.
it now, when are you gonna do
They
it? Because-
won't. That's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
They're
No,
not
but
going
they have to. They have to. How much time does Dak really have left in Dallas? We don't know.
No, this year. No, we know. He's gone. It's fucking over. This is the Dak era.
So that means
Right
he's
here.
got to do it. He's got to do the thing.
He's not doing the thing.
He's doing the
not
thing.
in Dallas.
He's doing the
Because
thing.
he's going to leave
He's doing the
and
thing.
do the thing
He's
elsewhere.
gonna do the
You
thing.
think they got cameras following them this year?
Yes.
One
The
last ride?
dance.
Yeah.
For sure. With fucking Jerry, yeah, absolutely.
They better get the in-season.
Do you think when Dak
Hard
leaves,
Knocks.
Jerry will leave? That'd be crazy.
No.
Oh my
No.
God, that'd be so
Jerry
cool.
doesn't want Dak back.
Who got
it
the
seems.
in-season Hard Knocks last year? The Dolphins? Was it the Dolphins?
No.
Yeah, it was
it
the
the
Dolphins.
I think it was. Or was that the year before? I don't know. Anyway, the Cowboys should get it this year.
That'd be cool.
Cowboys should get it this year. I agree. But
Yeah.
if they don't, bro, I think they do get a doc. I really do. But I'm telling you, next year it's
I don't think
Shedeur
everything
Sanders.
needs a doc.
Shedeur Sanders is the starter for the Dallas Cowboys next year.
I think that's terrible. That's awful.
I'm just saying. I think it's what's
I
happening.
don't know why any Cowboy fan would want Shedeur Sanders over Dak Prescott. I think that's
The
ridiculous.
cost is
Pretty
less.
crazy. Yeah, but Dak's
Oh, significantly
Dak's
less.
significantly better than Shedeur Sanders. If they draft Shedeur Sanders and he's the starting quarterback year 1, they're not making the playoffs till year 4 of him.
I
starter.
just don't agree with
That's
that.
He's literally just not.
I'm also probably
enough.
just higher on Shedeur. It's gonna be Shedeur and Dion, brother. Dion's getting hired there.
All right, my
getting
next
If
hired.
you
hot
want to lose
take.
football games and actually never win a Super Bowl, that's what you'll do. That's actually
Well,
what
Jerry
you'll
don't
do.
give a fuck because he didn't do anything this offseason.
Guess so, yeah.
My next hot take is that the Atlanta Falcons. I'm back on the bandwagon. The Atlanta
Kid
Falcons.
just hates us today.
The Atlanta Falcons win the second most games in the NFC this year and win 12 games. That's as far as I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win a playoff game or anything like that. But
What was a lot?
listen, I was skeptical about the Falcons offseason for a while there because they finally brought in the quarterback. They finally made the coaching change, but they didn't do anything on the defensive side of the ball. And then one day they decided to trade for Matt Judon and sign Justin Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons at safety would be crazy, but they signed Justin Simmons, and those are significant all-pro level players that they're just adding to their defense for the free without giving anyone up. So I think the offense just has to be significantly better this year. The first thing is obvious. Kirk, I don't care if he has half an Achilles. He's an upgrade. That's just what it is. He's an upgrade.
Yeah.
And the play calling was just atrocious last year that I just expect Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson to just be better than what Arthur Smith was last year. I think it'd be crazy if they weren't. They're coming over from L.A. We've seen what these McVay coaching tree people have put out there. We've seen what McVay does year in and year out. So I expect them to be better in the play calling department. And this was a defense that didn't have the talent on paper last year either, but performed like a top 10 to 12 defense in the NFL. And after a whole offseason, they did get better on that side of the ball. So they were in the playoff race last year. I think they were like 1 game out, 2 games out, whatever the case may be from winning the division.
Yeah,
but
I think it was 2.
this is a team that should steamroll the division. Not only just coming in first place, but it should be 5-1, 4-2 at worst against the division.
agree.
So those are easy wins right there. Their schedule isn't the hardest. So I expect breakout years from all their top 10 draft pick skill position players, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. They're all going to be better than they were last year. So I think just all in all, everything's coming together for this team to be able to win a lot of regular season games. I don't know if I trust Kirk Cousins in the playoffs, but
Kirk's going to be fine in the playoffs, but I don't know.
I don't know if he's good enough to get to the bowl.
If you say that about Kirk, do you think Dak is good enough to make the bowl?
I don't know, but I think Dak is better than Kirk.
I disagree. But
What?
I think Dak's better than Kirk.
I think Kirk is better than Dak.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott in a lot of different areas, just simply put. Like, I just think he's a more accurate quarterback. He simply is. He has a better pocket presence, even though they're both great in the pocket. Yeah, Dak's more mobile, but by how much? Like, after the
Not much
injury,
anymore.
After the injury, not much anymore. I just think Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback. They're very similar. I just think Kirk is better. So, and I love Dak.
I think that's probably one of those, like, pick your fighter type
Yeah.
of deal.
I don't think
Kinda
they
similar,
change
but-
anything if you change their situations. I don't think it changed a goddamn thing. So,
Okay. So
I don't know. I think Dak has a little more juice to him than
I
Kirk.
disagree.
I agree. I'm not a big like I don't think Kirk's leading my team anywhere.
He's good. He's good to win regular season games. So
That
12 of them.
brings me to my next point. I think this next Falcon season is going to be quite the struggle bus, if I were to say so myself. So I have 2 teams in that division making the playoffs.
What?
No.
Neither of them being the Falcons. I
What?
think the Falcons finished 6-11
Oh my
with a
God.
new coach, new quarterback, New system. I think they struggle the first year altogether. I think the continuity on offense is just not going to be there. I don't think Drake London's their guy. I think Bijan Robinson's going to have a nice season. I think he's going to have at least 1,500 yards from scrimmage. I think they're going to use him like nothing we've ever seen before.
Like prime Todd Gurley.
Like prime Todd Gurley. They're going to run Bijan
Literally.
Robinson into the ground. I don't think the defensive additions in Judon and in Simmons is going to be as crazy as everyone thinks. I think they're aging players, and I think, as we've learned in the NFL, aging players tend to drop off a cliff at some point, and I think that could happen this year with the Falcons. I think the Falcons' defense way overperformed what they actually are. I think they had to overcompensate for how much the offense was struggling last year, and I think they overperformed for sure. I don't know if they get that same performance as they did last year this year, and yeah, they finished third in their division.
6-11 is getting worse than what they were last year.
Yes.
English. How? Just Kirk alone. Achilles and all.
Achilles and all.
Bro. Okay, so then you said the aging vets part.
Yeah.
The two positions that they added aging vets are two positions that age well. Like, have historically aged pretty well.
A safety?
Safety and edge rusher. Yeah. I mean, safeties actually last pretty well into their, mid-30s. And Simmons being an all-pro, and look, we really didn't see any drop-off last year, so I don't really expect it to be a crazy drop-off this year. And I think Judon will be fine. I think I'm a little more concerned about Judon than I am Simmons because he's coming off injury as well, so I totally understand that. And you're kind of relying on the guy to be you're basically your pass rush is Judon now. Like, that is what he is to the Falcons. But that offense is going to be so goddamn good. Not just for all the reasons of Zach Robinson coming in, but like the personnel. This is the time now. Like, they have a great offensive line. Kyle Pitts has been misused his whole career. If he's healthy, he's a weapon. Absolute weapon. Drake London has been amazing when you have actually given him a chance to be amazing. Arthur Smith did not do that for either Kyle Pitts or Drake London, and then Bijan is going to be there's no words to even describe what he's going to be. There's no words. So I don't know. I personally think the Falcons do make the playoffs. Then they definitely win the division. It's just, what do they do from there? So I don't know, man. You're the Falcons guy too, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, Justin Simmons was fucking great last year. He had 3 interceptions. He had 6 pass breakups. He forced 2 fumbles. Like,
all I'm saying,
this is a guy who can move all over the defense.
You were high. You were sitting here. We were talking in your basement last year. We were talking about the Falcons and Desmond Ritter. You were like, Desmond Ritter.
Yeah,
and I told you Desmond Ritter was going to be benched halfway through the season.
Yeah, you were right.
And what the heck happened, dude?
You were right.
I said by the end of the season, Desmond Ritter. That was my hot take last year. Was it not? Last year, my hot take was Desmond Ritter is not going to end the season as a starting quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. And what happened? That's exactly what happened. And we're sitting here talking about the Falcons still. I don't want to talk about the Falcons.
Not Desmond Ritter.
Doesn't matter.
Bro, they got significantly better. No?
I just think in the NFL in general, it's tough with the rookie, a new coach implementing a new system. I think it takes a season to really implement everything and to get everybody on the same page. I think the offense, the talent on paper, yes, it's a great offense.
It's not like we've never seen a
sure
rookie
about
head
that,
coach make the playoffs.
Because we've now seen 2 in the last 2 years.
What?
Rookie head coach turn a team around in 1 year.
Who's that?
You could call the Giants a fluke all you want, but the Giants made the playoffs with Brian Daboll in his rookie season.
Fluke.
That's
literally the definition of a fluke.
Okay, the Texans
doesn't matter. They did it.
Year.
Then last year you talk about the Texans. They did it.
They have a generational QB.
What about the fact that he turned the defense around in 1 season?
Okay, that's not a.
The whole team was turned around.
Bro, and you gotta understand how awful Arthur Smith was last year.
For this team specifically.
That was where I went wrong. It wasn't the trust in Desmond Ritter. Well, Desmond Ritter was fucking awful.
He got cut.
Where I really went wrong was my trust in Arthur Smith, because it was terrible. And I have to, we're going to talk about the Rams at some point within the next 10 minutes probably, but I trust those guys. I trust Sean McVay. I would give him my kidney if he needed it.
Yeah, I agree.
I just
Raheem Morris is also proven to get the most out of
like
his
listen,
defensive personnel,
like
too.
Kyle Pitts has been underwhelming. I understand. I really do. This is a guy who put up 1K as a rookie and then dealt with some injuries, but also his utilization and his quality of target was just awful. It was just awful. And this is a generational prospect. At the end of the day, like those generational traits are still there. Bijan Robinson is a generational running back prospect. Yeah. Those traits are still there. Drake London's not generational, but Drake London is really damn good.
Was he a 5th overall?
They have Drake London was the 9th pick, the 8th pick. He was one before.
2 picks before Garrett
8.
Wilson.
Yeah.
You're right, 8. Yeah.
I don't know if they would have taken Garrett Wilson. Things might be different. I don't know.
This guy. London's awesome.
Yeah, Drake London's great. Kirk is so clearly, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's injured or not,
the best upgrade you could have made.
So obviously an upgrade. The offensive line is at worst a top 10 unit in the league. Yep. I could push them as a top 5 unit if I wanted to. And like I said, yes, the defense outperformed last year, and I think they'll probably be about just as good as they were as a unit last year, because I think the outperforming coming back down to real life and the additions they made, it'll kind of even. Matt Judon's a huge addition. He's one of the best edge rushers in football. He's a top 13 edge rusher in the game.
He doesn't fall off.
Yeah, if he's healthy, and if he is what he was when we last saw him, he's top 13 pass rusher in the game, which even if he does fall off a little, even if he's a top 30 pass rusher in the game, that's an upgrade for them still. No matter what, he's going to be an upgrade. Will he be a game wrecker? Will he be Defensive Player of the Year running Matt Judon that we saw 2-3 years ago? Probably not. But will he be a difference maker for the team? Absolutely. Justin Simmons is a game changer. He's a safety that I know safeties and positional value, blah, 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 blah. Safeties can change the game the same way a middle linebacker can. Justin Simmons is a guy who could play in the box. He could play, over the top. He could do a little bit of everything. You combine that with the best safety in the NFL in Jesse Bates. You have a shutdown corner on one side of the field in A.J. Terrell. You have a defensive-minded head coach in Raheem Morris who's coming in, who has been pretty great for his whole career and putting out great defenses. So I just... them being worse than last year is nuts. I might be crazy for 12 wins, but... You're crazy.
And see, here's another thing.
I don't care that you were right last year. You're crazy.
I'm always right. It just seems that way. Because my other hot take, we'll get into it in a little bit. Baker Mayfield revitalizes his career. When am I wrong?
Okay.
That's what we're going to start talking about. When am I wrong?
All right, so what's your next hot take?
I think I'm wrong way less than I'm right.
You know what? I'm sick of this.
What's your next hot take?
Me?
You.
That was it. That's all that I got.
Yeah, that was his hot take.
Falcons,
oh, yeah.
Falcons still miss the playoffs.
That was your third, right?
All right.
My hot take is the Falcons will still miss the playoffs.
All right. I'm trying to decide which one I want to pick here. You said you have Rams related.
I do have Ram-only related.
All right, I'll throw this one out there then. I have 3 teams from the NFC West making the playoffs, and y'all may be questioning, what's the third team? Well, there's always a surprise team every year, and it's not the Arizona Cardinals. It's the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks will make the playoffs on the back of a top 10 defense led by Mike McDonald and a bounce-back season by Geno Smith. It's going to happen. I think they're way more talented than people are giving them credit for. I think they have 3 receivers that are going to be phenomenal this year. JSN will likely break out in his second season. You have a 2-headed monster running back. Ken Walker is explosive as all hell, and he will have a phenomenal season. And that defense, as I said, top 10 unit as a whole, with arguably the best corner duo in the entire NFL. So, or likely to be up there. No disrespect to that duo right over there. But yeah,
Jalen Ramsey and Kendall Fuller exists.
Devon Witherspoon is...
Tariq Woolen was booty cheeks last year.
He's elite.
He was booty last year, bro.
He's elite in man coverage, all right? He kind of stinks in zone. He's elite in man coverage, all right? I really do believe in this team overall. I think they're super talented. They added a bunch on defense. And I think it all comes together, and I think they end up 10-7, maybe even 11-6. I don't know for sure about that one, but 10-7 I think is likely enough to make the playoffs in the NFC. So, yeah, I love the Seahawks. I think they're going to make it.
I like their pieces. I really, really, really do. I don't know. I'm not as high on their defense as you are. I think they're going to be better. I think there's still some holes that they need to figure out. If random guys step up, then that'll help their case. Oh man, I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about Ryan Grubb coming over. I mean, we talked about it when we did the preview. I have a little bit of concern about a guy who has no NFL experience.
I agree.
We look because like a lot of these guys will, they'll be an assistant in the NFL, then go coach in college, and then come up or whatever the case may be. Ryan Grubb has no experience coaching at the NFL level, which is a little bit concerning. I mean, obviously he did great things at Washington, so like, why can't he be great in the NFL? But I don't know. For me, it's just kind of one of those, like, I want to wait and see things.
That's fair. I think he steps into a very similar situation in
he has
a way.
The talent, yeah.
In a way than what he had at Washington. So I think it works out. I think it works out for them.
I really have no take on the Seahawks. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have them missing the playoffs, and that's about it. Bottom of their division, but not by much. I mean, I have them going 8-9, right behind the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Pretty just mid.
That's a lot. That's where a lot
Pretty
of people
mid.
have them pretty much, so I get it. Every year there's got to be a surprise team. Like, it happens every single season, and I think this is the surprise team. So,
all right, my final hot take is that the Los Angeles Rams go on a Cinderella run as a wild card team and make it to the bowl.
wow, there it is.
And make it to the bowl. The stars align. We're going to talk about some playoff predictions after this, so there's going to be some revenge sprinkled in there. There's going to be some hot revenge served on a nice dish.
Steaming.
By Matthew Stafford. Listen, this is a guy in Matthew Stafford leading this offense who, when he's on the field, more times than not, he's performing at a top 5 level. Why he's not consistently named as a top 5 quarterback in the league is beyond me. But when he's on the field and healthy, for the past decade plus, he's performed at a top 5 level.
He's one of those players like how NBA players are like, Michael Beasley's like my favorite player, like the best player I've ever played.
Your favorite player's
like
favorite
that's like
player,
quarterback's favorite quarterback is Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
he's the last person you want with the ball in his hands.
Right.
Aside from
yeah,
David
I don't
Patrick.
have to give a speech about Matt Stafford. We know who he is. He can make every throw in the book, like you mentioned. He's one of the clutcher players in the NFL.
He's had an underrated career because he was on the Lions for
Yes.
so long,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this is a guy who we saw have arguably a top 10 playoff run in the history of the sport at the quarterback position when he won the Super Bowl.
That shit was crazy.
He played perfect. This is a guy who, not even just in the playoffs, but we've seen for stretches of games, can play perfect. Matt Stafford can put up a perfect 4-week stretch, and
They have the
they have the weapons, they have the coaching staff. The defense is rough. I'm not feeling too great about their defense, but you told me they have some guy who your beat reporter friend at the YMCA said is going to take Ernest Jones' spot.
Yeah, bro.
losing to Aaron Donald's
It's huge.
gonna be you lose the best lineman in the league.
I think they did as good of a job as they could have done to replace it by drafting the 2 guys from FSU, getting Fisk
having
and getting
Kobe
Jared
Turner.
Verse. You have
So-
Kobe Turner who broke out last year.
But you can't. There's no
Yeah,
replacing
you can't replicate
Donald,
that.
but
No.
they did a good job.
They did as good. They
I
did
love
as
Braden Fisk too.
good
Yeah,
as they could have done.
I think so. The name of the guy is Omar Spates. Apparently, undrafted rookie, been phenomenal in Rams camp. That it made them so confident that they could trade Ernest Jones. And from all accounts, he's going to be an absolute stud. And everything the Rams do, it always works for them. Every single thing. This is quite literally like potentially the best run front office in the entire NFL. So you know what? If they have a feeling about a guy, who the hell am I to question it?
You trust them.
Who the hell am I to question it? So they've developed everyone they've drafted. They consistently have one of the best draft classes in the NFL. I just to bounce off that, I went so far as to say this was one of my hot takes, but I wanted to give it to you. I have them winning the division. I think the Rams take over the division.
You actually have them winning.
I actually have them winning the division. I backed off originally having the Niners. I don't feel good about the Niners this year. Granted, they have a lot of their problems solved now, but I still don't feel too good about the Niners this year for whatever reason. And I think this Rams team is, at least offensively, the most complete team in the NFL.
They're a juggernaut.
The most complete team in the NFL.
They could be the best. They could be the best rushing and passing attack in the NFL.
Yes. Yeah, they could. As long as they stay healthy.
Yeah, they're an actual juggernaut. Like you mentioned, the defense, they're young.
Yeah.
They're young, but they have some pieces. I loved Byron Young last year. I thought he really broke out. You add a Trey White and a Cam Curl, who are just some veteran pieces to your secondary. Hopefully you get something out of Trey White. At the least, you'll have him teaching those young guys, Kobe Durant and all them. So I think this is the year. And like I said, I think Matt Stafford is just, all they have to do is get in. They have to do is get in.
Right.
I mean, Stafford led, 3 game-winning drives in that playoff run?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'll never forget that Bucs
right.
game.
Matt Stafford's good enough, and this offense is good enough, and Sean McVay is good enough that all they have to do is get in, and they have a chance. And I mean, this might be, call me crazy, this might be the best offense they put out in the McVay era. And there's been some great offenses that they've put out. This might be the best one.
Yeah.
I mean, they duplicated Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
They literally duplicated.
Just made him a little bit taller.
Bro, and you know what's even scarier now? Like,
Jordan
it seems like
Whittington.
DeMarcus Robinson was awesome down the stretch of last season. Jordan Whittington apparently is like the next coming of the Cooper Kupp Puka Nacua.
They do.
Puka Nacua.
Cooper Kupp Puka Nacua is so difficult to say fast. Try it. Go for it.
Cooper Kupp Puka Nacua.
Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua.
They start their season without their tight end. Unfortunately, Higbee's still coming back from his ACL. He tore it in January. They have this guy, Colby Parkinson.
They paid Colby Parkinson, brother.
Who I picked up in Dynasty, who I'm really excited about.
Yo, I got him in
also
the
have-
32-man. Tight end premium.
Nice.
Yeah, they also have a rookie, I think, in Davis Allen, or second year.
For the first 10 weeks, he should be serviceable. I mean, I think Higbee's should be back by
They were
near
never-
playoff time.
They have a type in tight ends. Catch the ball, go down.
Yeah, they never really
Just be there. Move
featured
the
their
chains.
tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch the ball, move the
Yeah,
chains. That's
you know-
it.
It's more about making the tight end for them is make sure you get your assignments blocking on those outside runs and
And
shit
be a
like that.
security
Yeah.
blanket,
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, but make sure you McVay, every chance he gets in a press conference, talks about in his pass catchers, he's looking for guys who will block. That's why a Cooper Kupp, a Puka Nacua is so successful.
Yep.
That's why Jordan Whittington's on the up and up. A guy who was on no one's draft radar. He was the third receiver out of Texas, and he has a real chance to be a contributor. He fits the scheme perfectly.
Need to be physical.
He's not, when you look at him standalone, not a great receiving prospect. But when you look at him as a prospect for what he could contribute to the Rams, A+.
Yeah.
A+. It's really nuts. They really have a plan in place. They have like you said, they have types at all these positions, and more times than not, they draft those guys and they get those guys and they fill out their roster. And I said this a few months ago. I think it's just so incredible how this front office went from being all in and doing it all through the trade market and free agency and getting all the big names to kind of flipping it and rebuilding it through the draft. And I think the rebuild is done. I think they're here. I think this is a real Super Bowl contender, and I think they're gonna go.
Well, I think what helps is McVay has created such a culture that they have a real identity on both sides of the ball.
At every single
And you
position.
can just
Every position,
replace
yes.
every position through the draft by drafting the archetype of player that you need to play that position.
Yep.
You have an identity at every single position. You know the assignment that guy needs to do. It's almost Bill Belichick-esque of roster construction. Bill Belichick has a formula. He has a plan. He has a type of player that plays every position, and they do it, and they do their job. And that's exactly what's happening with the Rams year in, year out. They develop players. They replace their players when they don't want to pay them anymore.
Ernest
and that's
Jones, yep.
exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Obviously, the only pushback would be is the defense is weak. For this to come to fruition, like I said, all I'm predicting them to do is get in and get hot. The defense would need to step up for the playoff run. Obviously, they'd need to. These young guys, these rookies, these second-year players would have to have, they don't have to have great seasons. They just got to make the playoffs.
So that's the thing about the young guys. They get better as
Right.
the
They
season
just
goes
got to
on.
get hot for 4 games from me.
So
Just get hot for 4 games from me. Kobe
Yeah.
Turner, Byron Young, all you guys. Get hot for 4 games. And let Stafford cook.
yes,
It's
let
simple.
Stafford cook.
It's
Yeah.
simple. Yeah, I'm here for the Rams this year. I'm all in.
I agree. I definitely agree. Did anyone have any extra ones that they maybe want to throw out there? Or no? Any thoughts that you had pop in your head that you maybe wanted to say?
No, I had a hot take last year about Aaron Rodgers' yards, and obviously didn't work out. He had 0, so I'm not gonna say anything Jets related because I feel like I'm gonna jinx it or something.
Yeah, no, just keep your mouth shut about the Jets.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna turn the game on until the second quarter.
I mean,
I just want to see Aaron Rodgers get through a quarter, and then I'm like, okay, I feel safe. I honestly thought about not even watching the game until watching the Jets till week 2.
what if you turned it on and then
Yeah.
you ever watch a Jet game again in your life?
No.
Yeah, it'd be over after that.
I don't think I could ever watch another game in my life.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could watch a game if I turned the game on and he immediately tears his ACL or
Oh,
Achilles.
Lord. Yeah. I would be heartbroken forever.
Yeah, if we go to Hobart on Monday, I'm literally sitting in the bathroom until the second quarter.
You're going to be sick. You're going to be sick.
I don't know if I could even go.
You're
I'm
scared.
not
be
sure
by
if I can
myself.
either.
You know? No.
Yeah.
I just want to be by
Oh,
myself.
for Giant games, I feel the same way. I need to be by myself, honestly. But yeah, all right. I'll just throw an extra one out there. I had Jed as leading the league in receiving yards. I completely did a 180. I said that Justin Jefferson cannot finish as the wide receiver 1 in fantasy football. I apologize, that's Justin Jefferson.
Didn't we fight about this like days ago?
Maybe. But yeah,
I still don't think he can, bro.
I think Jed leads the league in receiving yards. I think Addison may get suspended. I think that adds to it. I think Darnold will be better than people expect. I mean, the man went absolutely crazy when Kirk went down still. So, yeah, I mean, you can't bet against 1,000 yards in 8 games, and a few of those games had Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall. I'd like to think Sam Darnold is better than both of those guys, especially in the Kevin O'Connell system. That's really all I got to say.
And Josh Dobbs.
And Josh Dobbs, yeah. So, that's really all I got to say about that one.
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
yeah.
You agree? You think it's possible?
I mean, he's the best receiver in the league.
Yeah, I think he
Anything's
could lead the league in yards. I guess.
I think Sam Darnold's more than capable of giving Justin Jefferson 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I agree. I think he could lead the league.
1,000 yards. No shit.
Wait, what did you say? Oh, lead the league.
Lead the league.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not.
1,000's not a hot take.
That's not gonna happen.
Okay.
He's not leading the league. Not when you have a healthy
Those guys
CeeDee
are
Lamb
pushing
and Dak Prescott. Not
1,700.
when
I know he was on pace
had
for
1,000
it.
in
but-
eight.
not if Jamar Chase shows up week 1. Not if you know what I mean. There's just guys.
I'm just saying he's
not
still
if you have healthy
average.
Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. Like, there's no way Justin Jefferson leads the league in yards.
He still averaged 10 targets and 100 yards per game when Kirk was not playing. So,
Yeah, but they're just worse.
not disagree. But that also plays into them having to throw the ball more. So, like, not only are they, like, they're going to be losing a lot of these games. Kevin O'Connell loves to pass in the first place. Jordan Addison may get suspended. I'm like, yo, all these things adding together, bro, Jettis is about to go crazy. He's about to lead the league in targets. And I think it'll be good enough to, lead the league in yards, too. So,
Okay.
All right.
all right. I mean, yeah. All right, so now we'll jump into our full playoff seeding and then our conference and Super Bowl predictions. So this is going to be a fun one. Dean, go ahead. You're the guest. Go ahead. Once again, start us off. Do you want to start with AFC, NFC? How you want to do it?
I'll start with the AFC, but this looks bad because of what I'm wearing. This looks really bad. This is just how the game shaped out. I have the Jets as a 1 seed, but like I didn't mean to do that. I have them going 14-3.
What the fuck?
It's not that crazy. It's not that crazy. The Chiefs are going 13-4. That whole division sucks besides them, so good for the Chiefs. 3 seed I have the Ravens going 13-4. The number 4 seed is the Texans going 11-6. The 5 seed is the Bengals going 13-4, right behind the Ravens. They have the same record. 6 seed is the Bills 12-5, and the Dolphins go 12-5 and make the playoffs. So all 3 teams in the AFC East make the playoffs.
You got to have some teams going 0-17 in this.
I have the
This is insane.
I have the Titans going 1-16.
They're not going 1-16.
I have the Broncos going 3-14. I have the Patriots going 3-14. The Commanders going 2-15. Yeah, that's all the crazy ones.
Wow. All right. What's your AFC championship, buddy?
No, let's do that after the standings. I feel
And then the NFC. You want me to do right now?
No, let's all do our AFC and then
We'll do our AFC standings, and then we'll each give our championship games?
Cool.
Okay, all right.
We'll give our championship games and Super Bowl together at the end after we do
Dirt.
the.
No. You're done. Your privileges are over now. All right, so for me in the AFC, I have the 1-seeded Kansas City Chiefs. Nothing different here. I have the 2-seeded Baltimore Ravens, the 3-seeded Houston Texans, and the 4-seeded Buffalo Bills. I have the 5-seed Cincinnati Bengals, the 6-seed New York Jets, and the 7-seed Jacksonville Jaguars. So yes, the Dolphins are missing the playoffs.
I have the Chiefs as the 1 seed. I have the Ravens as the 2. I have the Dolphins as the 3, winning the AFC East. I have the Texans as the 4 seed. I have the Jets as the 5 seed, the Bengals as the 6, and the Bills as the 7. Why the Dolphins hate, bro? What are you doing?
It's not Dolphins hate.
So Chris, we have the same teams.
Yeah.
They have a ridiculous schedule down
This guy got the Jaguars in there.
I have the Jags.
What do I have the Jags doing? They're going 9-8. I almost had the Colts. The first time I did this, I had the Colts winning the division and the Texans missing, but I was like, that doesn't look right. That changed things.
I just think it's
This
pretty
is the
simple,
year.
right? Bro, no, it's not.
Tua
I'm
gets
sorry.
better
You're worse.
every
You're
year,
worse.
and he's going to continue getting
They're
better
definitely
every year.
worse.
Your
but I
team
still
is
think they make the
worse.
playoffs. They're definitely worse. They're not better.
No, yeah, they're worse on paper, but Tua is going to get better.
No.
Brother,
Yes.
he's capped out.
No, he's not.
You've seen the best Tua you could see.
No.
Thank you. I agree.
No, we haven't. He hasn't even won a playoff
You've
game
also
yet.
seen the best Tyreek you could see, which is best receiver in the league, but you've seen the best of him. I think Waddle
has not been
doesn't
healthy.
Stay healthy. The defense,
Yeah, but he's healthy
the
now.
defense
He
got
practiced
worse.
yesterday.
Bro, it's not. It doesn't matter. He's glass. He's made of
Jalen
glass.
Ramsey's not getting any better. The
Jalen
D-line,
Ramsey's
the
still
D-line got
goated.
way worse.
D-line did get way worse.
Way worse.
So like,
Way
I don't
worse.
know where the getting better part's coming from. Really.
Mike McDaniel and Tua.
Brother.
Dude, you've seen what they could do.
I don't.
That was their max.
So their
They
max
dropped-
is
they-
just
they dropped-
collapse. That's
they
just
dropped
who they
7
are.
No,
They're
no,
just going to collapse at the end of every season.
No.
Yeah.
Their max is the
Yeah.
fact that they went into Kansas City and got the brakes beat off
Bro,
them.
it was
If they
fucking negative degrees.
No, but that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
that's the problem.
If they somehow get home field advantage, the Dolphins have a shot at making the Super Bowl.
The Dolphins should have in training
Bro.
camp go played in like Alaska or something.
Yo,
Like
But
honestly.
their schedule
I'm telling
is not
you,
fully favorable.
you gotta understand though. You gotta understand that yes, they're a warm weather team. They perform better at home. They haven't beaten good teams. Yes, bro. It was negative degree. I promise you.
No, I agree.
The Dolphins in the next 10 years will never play another playoff game in negative degrees.
Chris,
I
I'm not
promise.
disagreeing with
you
that.
don't
I'm
think there's a chance they play it in Buffalo?
Not in negative degrees.
But they can't play in cold weather in general. They cannot play in that freezing cold playoff weather.
Which every other playoff team in here plays in cold weather.
They are a finesse team. That is what they are built for.
Yeah, but what if Tua just keeps getting better every year and
Tua's from Hawaii and cannot play in cold weather.
he doesn't have the arm for it, bro. We've seen it in the past. Do you think his arm strength is just suddenly gonna?
it's not his
Skyrocket?
arm strength. He's just brain damaged in high leverage games. It's not, I promise the arm strength is not the problem, bro.
Freaking noodle arm.
The arm
He is a
strength
noodle arm.
He's
Noodle
not though. We've seen he's not. He's not a fucking noodle
In
arm,
hot
bro.
weather.
He is a noodle arm, but has a very accurate noodle arm.
He does.
I
I
don't-
agree.
the
His
most
timing
accurate
is
noodle arm
impeccable.
I don't know. I
seen.
just
Him
don't
and
think
Brock.
it's crazy to
Yeah.
think
Him
a
and Brock.
quarterback who's gotten better every year of his career is going to continue to get better. Because he objectively has gotten better every year of his career.
I think
That's
their
I'm not
scheme
making
has
that
gotten
up.
better every year.
I'm not making that up.
No,
he's
I don't
he's gotten
disagree
better
with-
every year of his career. And also this is a first-time head coach who's also gotten better every year, who also wasn't good down the stretch of last year, who the number 1 receiver in the league, Tyreek Hill, also was not good down the stretch of the year last year.
Well, because he got so many targets. He was injured
right.
at that point.
He wasn't, whatever the case was, he was fucking dropping balls left and right. He was not good down the stretch of the year last year for the best receiver in the league. He wasn't good. We had arguably the worst injury luck in the NFL last year. It was all off season. It was about, the Dolphins won't win shit because Tua can't stay healthy. Tua can't stay healthy. Tua can't stay healthy. He stayed healthy. They were a great team, and they had it was like Tua sold his soul to stay healthy. He sold everyone else on the team because they had the worst injury luck in the league last year.
Did, yeah.
And they're going into the year a little bit banged up, but
Exactly.
ideally, in a perfect world, they just don't have the worst injury luck in the league down the stretch of the year. They win some of the games they lost to last year, and maybe they don't play in -3-degree weather and don't play the Super Bowl champion who beat everyone. They lost to the Chiefs, yeah. Everyone lost to the Chiefs.
So I'm just looking at the other 2 teams in their division, right? They have the 3rd best quarterback in the division. They have the 3rd best defense in the division. That's not going to be enough for me to pick them in anything.
They have the best offense in the division, in my opinion.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
Their offense is very predicated upon playing a certain way. It is.
Right.
It's so good.
It could be
the best ever at playing that certain way.
You could scheme against the Dolphins. I don't think you could.
I know, but is it a crazy thing to suggest that a coach going into his 3rd year as the head coach who's we're crowning as one of the most innovative offensive coaches ever is not just going to continue to add more and get better as a coach?
No, but Chris,
this offense can't expand.
I'm saying your personnel does not lend to playing.
Yes, they have to play a certain way to win. They're not. It's not Patrick Mahomes who could be 50 touchdown and also be Tom Brady check down. This isn't Pat Mahomes. Most teams in the NFL who aren't the Chiefs or maybe the 49ers have to play
the Bills. The Bills could play however they want right now.
Yeah, bro.
On offense.
The Bills could play however they want on
Josh
offense
Allen
right
is
now
still
with
Josh
fucking
Allen, bro.
Curtis Samuel, bro.
Okay, but does it when it boils down to Tua versus Josh Allen?
But that's not what that's not what we're boiling down to right now. We're talking about, can the teams play different styles? The Bills are going to have one style this year. We saw what it was with Joe Brady last year. It's going to be running the ball. It's going to be running the ball and getting and short game. That's what their offense was last year. And they fucking lost too. How about it? They fucking lost
don't even
too.
do that. Don't even do that because
they lost
the way that they lost, it wasn't embarrassing.
Yo, but they lost.
The Dolphins embarrassed themselves.
But guess what? At the end of the day, they're all losers. They're all losers.
No, okay. The Dolphins were definitely on a lower tier than the Bills last year.
Yeah.
Very clearly, not in the same class as the Chiefs, the Bills.
Both teams got worse.
And they got worse. And I don't think the Dolphins are still not in the tier of team as the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs. They're not.
I don't think they're
true Super Bowl contenders.
When did I say they're a Super Bowl contender?
So what are we arguing?
Where'd you have them in the AFC?
I had them winning the division. I had them at 3rd.
And they're the 3rd best team in their division.
I agree with that.
But all right, here's my thing,
That's
right?
what we're arguing.
Right. They were a game away from winning the division last year. Yes. On paper.
Okay, you could throw away the Jets, you could throw away the Patriots. They're really going against the Bills. The Jets had no chance. The Patriots.
No, I understand that. I understand the division got better. Like the Jets are gonna. It was 2 free wins against the Jets last year. The Jets will give the Jets could beat the Dolphins. I think the Bills could beat the Dolphins head-to-head too. I'm not saying the Dolphins clear, but this is a team who, yes, they got worse on paper, you could say, but I just don't understand why there can't just be internal growth from their younger guys. I don't understand why. Yes, they didn't make additions to get better, but why can't the players get better? Why can't the coach get better? I don't understand. You've been predicting Daniel Jones to get better for all these years now. Danny's good. Danny will put it together this year. Danny going to put it together.
Because Danny sucks.
Why can't Tua just put it together? Like, why is that just...
Tua put it together.
We've seen
Tua just put it together.
No, but...
He's good.
But Tua folded down the stretch of the year. Like, why can't Tua just... Not fold down the stretch of the year. I understand the schedule is tough, but like this is make or break time. And also, he is like the same way you go to bat for Daniel Jones, I'm going to go to bat for my guy,
which is totally fair.
So why can't Why can't that 6-game stretch at the end of the year is so tough? What if the Dolphins just happen to win 4 of those?
I
what
just
if that
don't think they do. That's how I feel. I don't think they do.
Other teams also in the conference got better than the Dolphins.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think they're the best team in the conference. I think they could win the division. I think their offense is good
for that
enough.
last stretch of the year, though, you need to beat teams.
Their
in the
offense is
AFC.
good enough to win regular season games. I promise, bro. They're good enough.
But I think when teams are going to be fighting for playoff spots and they're going to be at the best at the top of their game, the Dolphins are not going to be out here beating the Ravens at the end of the year. I don't think they're
I
going to
don't
be
think
out here
they play
beating
the
the
Ravens
Chiefs at the
this
end.
year.
Who do
Or
they play at the end of the year?
Let's
The
see.
Packers,
I'm
the
very
Texans.
Bro, you're not traveling to Green
the
Bay to beat
Bills.
the Packers.
In
Bro.
Lambeau, they're not going to Lambeau and winning at the end of the year.
Okay.
I do really want to see this.
What if they do though? Like it's like
Then what if they
like
do?
I just
But
don't.
like,
congrats.
No, but you're making it like the Packers are the fucking 07 Patriots,
No,
bro.
I'm making it that the
It's not
Packers are a
fucking-
better football team right now than the Dolphins, and the Dolphins
I don't know
then
if that's
have to.
true. I don't know
I
if
think
that's
so.
true.
And then the Dolphins then have to travel to Lambeau in freezing cold weather, where the Packers play all year, and the Dolphins
But
get
what
to
if
play
the
in Hard
Dolphins
Rock.
just win? Like I don't understand. What if they just that
the
day
odds
they
are
play
against
better?
them.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going by odds.
And in every home game, the odds for the Dolphins, the odds are against the other team. They could just win a bunch of games early, like they did last year. And
this
my
is going
god,
to be a meaningful game. First game of the season, they play the Jags
at home.
They need to win that game. I
Okay.
think that is playoff position for me, in my personal opinion. And I just
week 1.
yeah. So Jags, Bills, Seahawks.
I'm going to do this for the Jets and the
Patriots.
Bills after this too now because we're
That's
going to do
fine.
the schedule and I'm just going to say they're going to lose less games. Like we're just going to keep arguing. The schedule doesn't mean shit. Like we understand.
But it inherently does.
We understand. We've talked about it for months and months. The Dolphins have a tough schedule their last 6 games. We understand.
The Jets, Bills,
This
and
is
the
a
Dolphins all need
gauntlet,
to.
dude.
The Jets, Bills, and Dolphins all need to play each other, and they're all good teams. So really, I feel like most
They
of the
all
games-
have tough schedules.
No, I get
most
that,
of those
but I'm
games
just
are probably
saying,
50-50.
bro, these last 5-6 games are actually like it's not just hard; it's a gauntlet. It is a gauntlet of the AFC's best. Like
Yeah, but they don't have. It's not like it's not single game elimination
NFC.
in the regular season. They don't have to win all of those games. They just have to win a. Bro, they've had the worst. Like, yeah, they suck, but they've also had the worst luck against good teams. Like, eventually, they're just gonna. They don't have to go fucking 6-0. They don't have to go 5-1. They have to win a couple of those games, and they win the division because they will beat the bad teams by 40.
I agree with.
All they have to do is beat a few good teams. They don't have to go 6-0. Yes, that is a hard schedule. They just have to win a few games. It is not fucking impossible for the Miami Dolphins to beat the Green Bay Packers on the road. It is not impossible. Will the Packers be favored in the game? Yes, the home team is favored in most games in betting anyway.
I'm just
The
saying,
Packers will be the favorite in the game.
there
yes.
are certain
Is
teams
it
that
fucking
travel well, and the Dolphins do not. Their play style does not travel well. in
I
cold weather.
understand that. But what if they just have
If they do, then I'm all for it.
all
Like,
they have to do is have a few games. All they have to do is have a few road games where the offense does travel. I'm not saying they have to go 17-0. They have to fucking go undefeated. They can't lose to anyone. Like this is a team that realistically should cakewalk to 9 wins. They should cakewalk to 9 wins. 8's probably their fucking floor.
Yeah,
8's probably their floor.
definitely. Yeah, they're a good football. They're a playoff football.
Can they just win? So
I could see them going 10-7 and missing the playoffs, Chris. That's
Right.
literally how I feel.
Right, but but it's not impossible for your 10-7 to just turn into
11-6.
11-6 and win the division.
I don't think 11-6 wins the division.
I don't think so either. I think
I
11-6
think so.
Buffalo Bills.
Well,
is-
right, we have different standings
And it would have
projections,
to be-
whatever it is. So then it goes,
Then it's tiebreakers.
yeah, whatever the
So-
case may be. But all they have to do is win a couple of these games that you're alluding to that are so difficult that'll end their season. Like, and again, this is a young quarterback who objectively has gotten better every season of his career. He just has. Whether you like the guy or not, he's gotten better every year.
And
He's
skinny now.
I don't know if that helps or if that.
I don't know, but this is a guy who has gotten better every year of his career. I'm gonna put my money on he continues that trend.
Remember when he was?
And he said, Kiki. They said, you look like Drake. He said, oh, really? Kiki. when he had his braids.
What was it? What did he say when he was at Dolphins training camp? Show me my money or some shit. What the fuck did he say?
Something like that. He has a video with Big Justice and Big AJ.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They met him. Yeah.
Aura. That's
I know.
Fuck them.
No,
make
but
the playoffs, though.
all like in all dead seriousness, like yes, the roster got a little bit worse. Sure, like I do agree with that point, but I think we could all agree that this roster is good enough to go wherever Tua takes them. Right? Is that a fair point?
Yeah, you have them not making the playoffs?
I have them missing the playoffs.
That's weird.
I think the Jags make the playoffs.
That's weird.
I don't think that's weird though.
It's weird. No, the Dolphins are better than the Jaguars, and if I'm picking
personally
either of those two
disagree.
teams, the Dolphins are definitely making the playoffs over the Jags.
I just personally don't think they're a better football team than the Jaguars. I don't. I really don't.
They are. Their offense is way better than the Jaguars' offense, especially in the regular season when all you need to do is make the playoffs. Yeah, the Dolphins are going to make it over the freaking Jacksonville
I
Jaguars.
just think the Jags are a better football team all around.
I think right now Tua is better than Trevor. I think their run attack is better than.
But I don't think that's like I'm projecting. Like this is my projection. So like it's like I'm projecting that the Jags will be a better football team and Trevor will be a better quarterback than Tua this year.
But he's just not.
But he is.
I think Trevor could be better than Tua and the Dolphins.
And the Dolphins
Tua
still have a
doesn't-
better
but
record.
Tua doesn't
I
have
get
to
what
be
you're saying.
Right. He doesn't have to be better for the Dolphins to be better. That's kind of like you're lending to our point as well, like there as well.
No, I'm saying I get what you're saying, but I don't think that's true. I also think their supporting cast around them has improved more than the Dolphins supporting cast has improved around them.
So a rookie receiver, is that what we're Gabe Davis?
Calvin Ridley, unfortunately, is addition by subtraction at this point. The two guys that they added fit the roles that they're going to be playing more than Calvin Ridley fit the role that he was playing. Christian Kirk is back. Evan Ingram was awesome last season. The offensive line is healthy.
Better than Tyreek Hill and.
I'm not
Jalen
saying their weapons
Waddle.
are better.
No, yeah, the Jags got better. Their defense also got a lot better. They
A lot
added Eric
better, significantly better.
Armstead, which is huge. But I don't know. I just think the Dolphins are better. The Dolphins also call me
I
crazy.
also think Trev takes a ridiculous step. That's why I have this.
Is this a crazy thing to say about the Dolphins? I know those last 6 games are tough. I understand. We're going to keep saying it. But what if the Dolphins are just a team that gets better as the season goes on because some of these guys who are going into the season hobbled get a little healthier and the luck changes? Instead of last year, yes, Tua folded, but also the wheels fell off of the fucking organization.
Yeah.
The wheels fell off. What if we just have reverse luck and we just get better and healthier with time?
What if you start bad but end good?
Yeah, what if we just...
I mean, if that's what happens, that's what happens. But I'm not projecting that.
I just can't... Like again, I will acknowledge that Tua fucking folded. I will be the first guy to say that Tua folded, and I'm not excusing him, but I just don't think the injury luck could be as worse as it was.
No, it was real bad.
Everything fell apart.
Yeah, it was.
Everything fell
It was
apart. The
really
offensive line, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek, the defense, like Achane was out. Everything fell apart, bro.
And they lost pieces.
Yeah, they did.
Important pieces, nonetheless.
They did. They got some pieces. Listen, the defense really did get better if an edge rusher can emerge, whether that's Jalen Phillips being healthy, whether that is Chop Robinson, my rookie of the year, or whether that's Bradley Chubb coming back from injury.
Yeah,
You know,
I
because
just
behind them, it's great. The linebacking core is great.
yeah, it's good.
The secondary is great. And Dean's dragging it. Dean said they have the 3rd best defense in the division. They don't. With Matt Milano out, their defense is better than the Bills. That's just what it is to me. Or at least it's close. It's not a
very
clearing.
close.
It's not a
It's very
clearing
close,
of the
'cause
Bills.
The Bills' pass rush has consistently been really good, and their secondary, just for whatever reason, churns out players. Like they're one of those teams that it's like they develop a certain.
Yeah,
position
I don't
really
know.
well, that
They
it's
fell
like,
off though. Like they
With
lost
Milano,
like
yeah.
no, not even just like they lost guys that have been not just
Trey
Milano,
White
but
isn't cooked anyway. But I think that's actually like
you lost your 2 safeties. I know the guys they have are good. Like they do
they
have
added some good
talent, but
players.
still you lost. Especially with Milano being out for the year, they lost cornerstone pieces on the defense.
I don't know. I personally
You think
like,
it's a clearing the Bills defense over the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Even with Matt Milano out for the year?
You and Matt Milano.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think they're neck and neck. I think it's clear cut that that's the best defense in the NFL, arguably.
The Jets, yeah. It's not, yeah.
The question mark comes on offense for the Jets. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about only G.
That's what I'm saying, though. All three of these
What do you mean?
teams have
Mike
question
Williams
marks.
is.
back
Yeah, he's
back.
off an
practicing.
ACL,
Yeah.
but he just gets hurt all the time, man.
I mean, it's better than you had Alan Lazard out there. We
I
had
think
Mike
you're the most talented team in the division, personnel-wise, without question. Like, not even close. I think.
The O line also got a ton better.
You guys, it's all about health.
Added Tyron
That's
Smith.
my. I'm
You guys
using
think
my
only
bet.
about
if you lose
health.
Tyron Smith, you took a tackle 11th overall.
I agree, but you also have Morgan Moses too, who's also injury prone.
Okay, he
The
gets
entire
hurt.
interior of your defensive of your offensive line is also injury prone. Elijah never stays healthy. Tippmann got hurt last year as a rookie. I'm not gonna say he's injury prone, but that's just like it's just the truth.
Yeah.
Like we're relying on so many guys to potentially stay healthy.
I think they probably should have gotten another receiver somewhere.
I agree.
Corley's probably more of a project.
Corley's like I told you
than
this.
he is
Yeah.
NFL ready.
Jets fans
Go
were thinking
get
he was
Michael
gonna step
Thomas.
in.
Who cares that he's suspended
But
for
also-
week 1? Go get Michael Thomas.
I think Xavier Gibson's cool. I think he's decent.
Gibson's cool, but I feel like Brees is going to be getting the second or third most targets out of that whole
I
offense
think you might
with
run
all
him
the
in the
carries.
slot. I think
Yeah.
you can run him in the slot a
And I
little bit
think-
too.
Yeah,
Braylon Allen in the
I'd
backfield.
honestly rather Brees Hall go catch some passes and throw Braylon Allen in the backfield and do it that way sometimes as well. Have Brees take
Make
less
him
hits.
versatile, yeah.
I mean, I think there's definitely a few things the Jets could do with their offense. It literally comes down to offensive health. Even the defense, I think if somebody gets hurt, they have depth, they could replace guys. But offensively, like, Aaron can't get hurt. Brees can't get hurt. Garrett really can't get hurt.
no, not at all.
If Garrett gets hurt, then I think it's clip. I think we're cooked.
Next to Aaron Rodgers, I think it is Garrett Wilson is the
I think
other
you
guy.
could have,
that
you could
needs to
have
stay healthy.
one tackle injury.
Can't have two.
You can't have like 3 O linemen get hurt.
Yes.
I think that's any team, but especially the Jets. I
But
think it's
It's any team, but it's more so the likelihood of the Jets happening
yeah.
is
Yeah.
higher than just about any
The
other
Jets
team.
need to get lucky with injury health,
Yeah.
or just have it not be as bad as it's been,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
like less.
I could see all three of these teams making the playoffs. I could see all three of these teams winning the division.
We had
I
all three
just
making
so
the playoffs
happened-
last year. you
I
know?
just so happen to have the Dolphins missing it at 10-7. Like I think they're still a good football team.
just
I just so
mathematically
happen.
doesn't make it. Yeah.
I think that, like crazy enough, I think that the Jags come in and win week 1. And I think that's the reason that the Jags end up making the playoffs over the Dolphins.
Let's put $100 on it.
Robert Saleh just made a.
Well, I'd rather bet the odds where the Jags have plus money. Why would I do that?
You want to hear a funny quote? Saleh says Hassan Reddick reporting to Jets would be like finding change in the couch.
Solid doesn't know when to shut up sometimes.
Bruh,
but that's a good one.
mad funny.
That's a good one. Oh, also to the people, we actually made a bet in the group chat last night about who's going to win the division. He has 100 on the Dolphins. I have 100 on the Bills, and he has 100 on the Patriots. So
Clearly.
clearly 100 on the Patriots. But yeah, all right. So that's our AFC. That took a second. All right, let's move on to NFC.
I don't know if we're gonna get to this Patreon.
Oh, we're gonna definitely cut it close. It's gonna be a problem. Might have to record it like tomorrow or Thursday morning if we get.
Wow, we're about to be done. The NFC's
We're getting
fast.
close.
Let's do
We're
it,
getting
let's
close.
do it.
Go
NFC's
ahead.
fast.
Run through it, Dean.
All right. So number 1, I got Cowboys. Number 2, I've got 49ers. Number 3, I got Lions. Number 4, I got Buccaneers. Number 5, I got Eagles. Number 6,
This is the worst playoff bracket I've heard in my
number
entire
6,
fucking
number
life.
6, I've got the Bears. Number 7, I got the Saints.
This is disgusting. This is gross. Wait,
No.
You had-
bro.
No Packers.
you had 4
no.
teams that I don't have in the playoffs.
I have no Packers. No Rams. No Seahawks.
Lord, bro.
No Falcons.
All right,
I don't even have anything to say about that.
I got the Lions as the 1 seed, the Falcons as the 2 seed, the Eagles as the 3 seed winning the NFC East, the Niners as the 4, the Cowboys as the 5, the Rams as the 6, and the Bears sneaking in there as the 7. No Packers.
Who was your 5 seed?
The Cowboys.
Oh, okay. No Packers. Wow.
No Packers.
Bears over the Packers is gross, in my personal opinion.
I said that on the NFC
I know you did. I knew it was
North
coming.
preview, so I had to stand on my business.
Fair enough. All right, so for me, I have the Lions as the 1 seed, the Eagles as the 2 seed, The Falcons is the 3 seed. The Rams is the 4 seed. I think the NFC West beats up on each other. 5-seeded Packers, the 6-seeded 49ers, and the 7-seeded Seattle Seahawks. That's my NFC predictions. All right. What?
The
What do you have to
Saints,
say?
bro.
What do you have to
How
say?
many wins did you have the Saints having?
Okay. I have them going 9-8.
Wow.
But I needed to kind of I needed the Falcons to lose more
To stand on business.
to stand on business. So I think I ended up having the Saints winning more games than I maybe would have liked them to. So I think that's why that happened. I'm more of on the bandwagon of the Falcons missing than the Saints making. I think
Okay,
the
change
Saints
it then.
the Saints just mathematically, I can't go back and change it. The Saints just mathematically, that's how it shaped up. You know?
Do you like them?
The Saints?
Yeah.
No. If I could have,
So you had the Rams missing?
yeah, but they have the same record as the Saints in my thing.
All right,
I'd,
then
I'd rather have the Rams.
We'll do you a favor. The Rams are in the playoffs in the
Rams
Saints
at
are.
7. Yeah, I would love that.
There you go.
I would love that. I would love. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks.
You're so welcome, dude. You're so welcome. Oh, God.
There we go.
That was good. That was good.
All right.
All right. So we'll go to our conference championship games. Are the Saints in your conference championship?
No.
Oh, because then we couldn't make the change. All right, go for it, Dean. Who's in your conference championships? Give both. Or give none.
My conference championship ends up being the. I'll just tell you. Ends up being the Jets, Chiefs, and the Cowboys, Niners.
Okay. All right. Nice. Chris, what do you got?
Khalil Herbert or Greg Dortch? This is so fucking stupid. In Lucha's league, we had
What?
no, because I'm fucking angry. We had 5 bench spots, and Luch texted this morning, like, "Oh, some people suggested adding a 6th bench spot. Would everyone be cool with that?" And some of us just liked the message. Like, I just liked the message. He never said anything else in the chat.
Hi, Mom.
He never said anything else in the chat. And then he just added the spot and didn't say anything. So people
What?
just started picking people up. It
No
wasn't
waiver?
like, no,
Wow.
I know. Like Dontavion Wicks was here.
Someone picked
Oh,
up
wait.
Wicks?
Whoa. Wicks is there?
No, someone picked him up.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I know.
I would say I don't believe in DeAndre Swift, so I would say Khalil Herbert, but
It's a good. It's good.
that's
Yeah.
just me, though.
You know
All right.
what? I changed my NFC.
All right, good.
Cowboys, Lions in the NFC, and Jets, Chiefs in the AFC.
Do you have the Jets making the Super Bowl?
Who else would I have making? The
Oh,
Super Bowl?
my God.
I
go
have,
for
I have Jets, Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
Lord have mercy.
Wow.
2 organizations known to fail.
All right.
Not this year.
Go for it, Chris.
So I have the Rams beating the 49ers in the NFC Championship.
Wow.
And then I have a rematch of a few years ago. I have the Chiefs beating the Bengals in the AFC Championship. And then my Super Bowl, I have the Chiefs beating the Rams. No fun. Not exciting.
Again?
Who'd you have winning?
Oh no, they lost to the Chiefs lost to the Rams, right? No, the Rams
Chiefs
beat
never
the
played
Bengals.
Rams. Yeah.
Chiefs beat the Bengals, yeah.
No, the Rams beat the Bengals.
The Rams beat the Bengals, yeah.
Well,
In the
yeah.
Sup- in the bowl.
Oh, Bengals beat the Chiefs that year, actually.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
What were you asking me?
Who'd you have winning?
The bowl?
Yeah.
I didn't get that far.
Well, you got to get that far.
Oh, we weren't getting that far?
We are getting that far.
Oh.
Okay.
Do you think I'm gonna have them losing to the Cowboys? What the heck?
Yeah, no.
It has to be the year. It's got to be the year.
Well, your team has no choice.
Yeah.
It quite literally has to be the year.
Yeah.
All right. My NFC championship is the Lions defeating the Eagles. And my AFC championship is the Chiefs defeating the Houston Texans. I have the Chiefs versus the Lions in the Super Bowl. Look, I'll put it like this. My head is telling me to pick the Chiefs. but my heart is screaming to pick the Lions. Oh, I think that the Chiefs are going to make history. I think they are going to be the first team. But no, fuck that. The Lions are winning. The Lions are winning the goddamn Super Bowl. All those years of sadness and failure and being just, everyone wants to retire early because the Lions suck so much. It's all over now, guys. Jared Goff is your savior. Amon-Ra is the sun god. The Lions get it done. They do it. They do the thing. They win the Super Bowl and get rid of years of anguish and pain in their franchise's history.
I like it. I'm a big fan of the Lions. I like Dan Campbell.
I love Dan.
Everything they have going. Remember a few years ago when they weren't good yet, Dan Campbell was like crying about how much he loves the team. And
Yeah, bro.
that was really
that was when I knew this guy's gonna be a good coach.
This guy's legit, yeah.
Because these players are gonna want to run through a fucking wall for this guy. So, like, even if he's not good with the X's and O's and all that shit, like the players will play hard.
Big, tough, strong
game,
man got on national TV and opened up his heart to the world. That was pretty amazing.
When they were like 3-14 that year or something.
Yeah, and he was crying.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's Rick Mahomes. Like
I'm aware. Yep.
I'm gonna pick him for as long as he's in the league. I'm not gonna lie. There's no reason to not pick him.
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm basic, and I normally like going out on a limb and being, crazy hot takes. I had the Dolphins winning the bowl last year. What a crazy hot take that was, right? For a guy who can't win in cold weather. But
You got that right.
yeah, so I learned my mistake.
Well, you had them winning the division too, so to be fair, you couldn't have predicted negative degrees in Kansas City. So, to be fair.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, but they would have lost if it was 10 degrees.
If they didn't blow it to the Titans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was insane.
That was the worst. The Bills game was bad, but the Titans was the worst.
The Titans was the worst.
The Bills, it was inevitable. We felt it. We watched that at Hobra. Fucking Deontay Hardy returned a fucking punt. That shit was fake. We were up in the fourth quarter.
That was so.
And then it just
fell off the rails, man. It fell off the rails. But that's just, that's the Dolphins, it feels like. So, we'll see
not this year, bro.
Do we think the Titans are going to be any decent? You haven't won in 16.
No.
So.
I think I still have all my record predictions up in my
They also
Safari.
have a tough schedule.
I have them at 4-13.
Yeah. No, their schedule's kind of rough.
They got a squad, though. They're talented on paper.
Yeah.
Do
They're
they
very
have a
talented on
squad,
paper.
or do they
Yeah.
have a bunch of old people?
I don't really have
No, they're talented on paper.
any team. So actually my worst two teams in the NFL are the Commanders at 2-15 and the Giants at 3-14.
Wow, the NFC sucks. Yeah.
That's why I had so many. I told you guys before. I thought I was going to be lower on the Cowboys, but I just kept having wins for them.
I actually think that the Commanders will be better than people expect.
Yeah, I'm going to go and redo this probably a few more times. I like
And I
doing
think
this.
the Giants
This is
will have more
a
than 3 wins.
cool little tool. I'll link it for you guys in the description if you guys want to do your standing projections. But you just pick every game and it does it for you.
It does the math for you.
yeah.
It does all the tiebreakers, and you don't got to figure nothing.
Yeah, it's a cool tool.
Yeah, I
So
didn't even use it, but I should.
I'm gonna do it a few more times probably before the season starts. See if I get any weird
You can
combination.
go back and fix it if you want, but it'll, there'll be like a chain effect.
Of course, as it should. Yeah, that helps. But yeah, so, all right, guys, we're actually about to record a Patreon video. So if you're not subscribed to the Patreon, go do that. We have 2 different tiers, a $2 and a $4 tier. Obviously, each come with different benefits. For the $4 tier, it comes with everything that the $2 tier has, including a fantasy football-based video. And then once you jump to the $4 tier, you end up with a fantasy football video, as I just said. You get entered into the chat as you do in the $2 version. My apologies. Should have said that before. And then you also get betting picks for the upcoming week, which we're going to be starting this week, obviously, with the NFL beginning. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff in that.
And
we tried to
entered
figure out that
into it.
fantasy.
Yeah, the fantasy league's not gonna happen. Sadly, it was a
Unfortunately,
good
the
try.
Western
We'll
League
get it
is
for
not
next
happening.
year. But you guys are entered into a jersey giveaway, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you subscribe between now and October 1st, you get entered into a free jersey giveaway. That's for the $4 version, so keep that in mind. So yeah, just go jump on that, please, and then you get to watch us 3 record a video in a short while. So
Fantasy start sits probably.
yeah,
I'd
we could-
assume
we could do that.
if we're doing a fantasy football video, probably.
Yeah, it's a I'm assuming that's what.
I mean, or something draft maybe. I don't know. Ball game.
That was
Please be sure to
BallGame.
leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials, do all that good stuff. NFL season's in 2 days. College football season just finished. It just week 2 got. You know what? Just end the video. Ball game.
Ball game.